guys, I'm Megan. Welcome back to my channel. This is Chiron Equine if you're new here. I am trying something new with the lighting today in here, so let me know if you like it. I've got some studio lights. I'm not sure if I've got them set up in the right place. Like I've said before, I'm brand new to this. I am just experimenting and playing around. But let's get into it. What I wanted to tell you about today was one of my horses. I'm going to do a series over the next couple of days about my horses, how I got them. So today I want to talk about Hope. Hope is my very first horse. I have had her for almost 10 years. Hope is a 2007 Jockey Club Thoroughbred. She came off the track. Her Jockey Club name is Hope's First Love, which I didn't love when I got her. It has grown on me and it does suit her. It's just girlier than what I would have picked for myself. Anyway, like I said, she's a 2007 Bay Mare. She is 15.2. I got her as a 3-year-old, and I have had her ever since. When I got Hope, I was working for a friend who had a private barn. She did some coaching, she did some breeding. She still breeds very, very nice Hanoverians, and so I was working in her barn. And one day she asked me to come in on a day that I normally would not have worked because she was going to take a trailer down to the racetrack and pick up a gelding that a client of hers had bought and ship it to the client's barn and then come back with the trailer. So I was just going to take over the morning chores for the day. And at lunchtime when she came back, the horse was on the trailer. And I said, you know, what's going on? I thought you were dropping him off at the client's barn. And she said, oh, no, this is a different horse. When I got there, the trainer said, would you please take the filly to? The owners have asked me to find her a new home. So, do you want a project? I'm gonna quickly say here, for most people, the advice is don't get an off-the-track thoroughbred for your first horse, and that is really good advice. I would never encourage anybody to take on a restart project like that for their very first horse, unless, like I had, you've been in lessons for 12, 13, 14 years. I had already restarted some thoroughbreds under the supervision of a coach I'd been working for at the time, so I was pretty confident in my ability. I just hadn't had the opportunity to own my own horse at the time. I was still a college student, and she wasn't asking me to buy the horse. She said, do you want a project? If you put 30, 60, or 90 days on her and get her sold, here's how much money I want depending on how long I've been feeding her, and you can take whatever else she sells for. We'll split it like a commission, which was going to be a fantastic deal for me. It was going to let me sort of start training under my own name instead of training for somebody else's business, and I was really excited about the opportunity. Now, as a 3-year-old, Hope was a very small horse. She was 14.3 coming off the track, and she looked very, very immature. I will try and insert a picture up here of what she looked like when she came off the track. She was just a really little filly. And like I said, not just small, but sort of immature looking. Her head was as long as her neck. Her body was fairly slim. She was still racing fit. So we did get some weight on her. I did start riding her 2-3 times a week. Mostly started out for the first month just hacking around the farm. I was really lucky that we had some beautiful trails. So for about a month we just hacked her. I started taking her out on hound exercises with the hunt club that I ride with and have ridden with for a long time. And a couple people were interested. I had some people ask me questions about her, but the comment I kept getting was how small and immature she looked. And that was fair. She really did. At the end of 90 days when she hadn't sold, the owner said, I've got a friend who's just got pasture at a farm a couple hours north of here. I think I'm going to send her away for the winter because it'll be less expensive to board her at this pasture facility than to keep paying for a stall in the barn she was leasing. So she was going to send her away for the winter, give her 6 months to grow up, bring her back in the spring, and we were going to restart her again. I did not realize how sad I was about this until the day came that she was supposed to ship out. And I said to my husband, Kevin, I've been the only person handling her for the last 90 days. I have ridden her, I have fed her, I have taken care of her. I have to put her on the trailer myself. So I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna get my barn clothes on, I'm gonna buy a bag of carrots on my way out to the farm, and I'm gonna load her up myself and get a chance to say goodbye to her. So, Kevin, in maybe still the most romantic thing he's ever done for me, called the horse's owner and asked, "What does it cost to keep a damn horse?" That's exactly what he said, and I still love him for it. So we worked out some numbers. She charged me what would have been her split of a commission had we sold the horse, and Hope was mine. She let me pay her off in a couple of installments because I was still working for her and I wasn't gonna disappear. So that was really, really kind of her and made it much easier on me to be able to make that decision to say yes. And I moved Hope out to another member of the Hunt Club's farm where she could have pasture board, and it was going to be a little bit less expensive than the very, very, very nice facility she was living at the time. And she was mine. So that was October 2010 that I bought my very first horse. I had been riding since about 1997, and I was super excited. I did give her most of that winter to just grow up, and then in the spring I started riding her with my hunt club. Hope was never a really great hunt horse. She's always been very obedient. She's always been very sweet. She really, really tries. She wants to please people. But if any of you have ever ridden field hunters, you know it takes a really special horse to just get it, to really want to play the game, to really enjoy hunting. So Hope still to this day has never really settled into the job of a hunt horse. So after about 3 years of hunting her in the spring and the fall, I stopped. It just stressed her out too much. She tried, she really, really tried her heart out for me, but it was obviously really stressful for her, and I just couldn't do that to her anymore. So I went back to catch riding other hunt horses, which is exactly what I'd been doing before I bought her, and Hope started working in my lesson program. She's actually really good in the lessons with some people. But like I mentioned a minute ago, she is quite a sensitive, anxious horse, so she really does need to be with a person who can be confident enough for both people. So I use her a lot in lunge line lessons or on the lead for beginners, but she's really not a great horse for sort of novice intermediate students because she does get pretty strong cantering. She needs a lot of help with her jumping, so she's really kind of quirky, which I love. I absolutely have learned more from her than any other horse I've ever handled about how to be sensitive and attentive to what my horse needs and how to be a better trainer. So I am eternally grateful to her for that. But as a lesson horse, I do still have to be a little bit careful about who I let ride her. Where she has really, really settled into my program is in the equine assisted learning. And if you guys want a full video on what is EAL and what do I do as an EAL facilitator, let me know in the comments because I'm happy to do that. So in my equine assisted learning program, it's all groundwork based. There's no riding. And Hope is really, really great at that job. She loves the one-on-one sessions. She's good in the group sessions, although sometimes depending on the group, that can still stress her out a little bit as well. But she's really, really excellent at that. And I sort of told her a couple of years ago, as long as she's a great EAL horse and I still trail ride, she doesn't ever have to compete. She doesn't have to hunt again. I don't want to do anything that's going to stress her out because to me, it's important that my horse loves their job as much as I love it. The other thing that Hope does in my program is now she is a broodmare for me. I bred Hope in 2017 and she foaled out in 2018, and I will tell you about her foal in another video. But needless to say, she was an excellent mother. She was really great to breed. She was fairly easy and straightforward to foal out, and I am planning on breeding her again this spring coming up, hopefully. I did breed her to an Irish Draft stallion, and I will probably cross her to another Irish Draft again because I grew up in the late 90s at an eventing barn, and Irish Sport Horse was the horse to have. It's really funny. Somebody actually found one of my old journals from when I was about 12, and I had written, when I grow up, I'm going to breed Irish Sport Horses. And I had completely forgotten about that until somebody pointed it out after Hope was already bred. So that was really special for me. That's something I've always wanted to do, is breed professionally. So that is something that I do still pursue. It's slow business to build up to. You don't just buy 10 broodmares and breed them all and call yourself a breeder. And if you guys want to know what I have done up till now in the last couple of years to get ready to breed, to make the decision to breed the mare that I already had, and what that process was like, I'm happy to make that video. So let me know down below if that's what you want to see next. Like I said, I have had Hope for 10 years. She isn't going anywhere. I actually met the woman who bred her about a year ago, and she still has Hope's mom. Hope's mom now is 21 or 22, and I also found out that Hope was the 4th generation of females in her breeding program. So she had Hope's grandma and great-grandma, and they both lived to 35 and 36, and her mother's still going strong at 22. So that was really exciting to know that longevity runs in her family. I'm really excited to have her, hopefully, for a really long time. I know anything can happen in horses, but touch wood, I'm going to have her for much, much longer. And I'm really excited about that. I will check in with you guys again tomorrow with another video. I'm going to tell you the story about Violet, my second horse. And thanks for checking in, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below, and I will talk to you soon.